8 points. That's what's up.
They topped themselves. How did they do that? How did they do that?
Dude,
how did they do that? How?
You overlook it. I've been seeing this crap for a long time.
I'm not overlooking anything. What are you talking about? I've overlooked it.
No, dude, you overlook it. Leroy, tell him.
The single digits. Who does that in the NBA?
Well, in the fourth quarter, 3 out of the 4 times it's happened this year.
Right.
3 out of the 4 times. Strangely enough, the Thunder have the other one.
What?
Which
can
means
you believe?
you have done something this season that the Washington Wizards have not done 3 times.
Well, I have. Spoke put the lava out there to score 8 points.
Well, new lava, not his lava.
Yeah.
Champion lava, not Frog Boys lava.
The better lava is my lava. By the way, champion.
You're not, but you weren't on the team.
I am a part of the team.
You're like AJ Burnett on the 03 Marlins. Like you were part of it, but then you're not because you didn't pitch.
I'm like Dion Waiters during the 2020 finals. I gotta bring you the way, baby.
Champ cheese.
Champ cheese.
The thing that is like so disheartening, dude, is like, man, they played such a good game. They string you along.
You want me to give you a lesson in sports?
And then it's just like,
would you like me to give you a lesson in sports?
Sure. If this is a talent thing, though, like you can't really. Can I just say?
Let me say it first.
Fine.
You know what the difference between an average team and a playoff team?
Sure. What? Even though there are
playoff team and a championship team is the ability to sustain what you're doing for longer periods of time.
Okay.
And so you can watch the worst teams in the NBA come out and have a 40-point quarter. But that may be the extent of their talent. They can't do it for a whole game. The Heat are a 3-quarter team. Because we all watch these games knowing that they're going to have that one quarter. Well, it looks like they never played basketball before. And so while I would say it's not a talent thing, but it's a level of talent thing. And that the upper echelon teams can sustain what the Heat did for 3 quarters longer. Therefore, they win more games. And it's the same way in every sport. Every person playing at that level has talent. They're NBA players.
Mm-hmm.
But as a team, can you sustain it long enough to win games?
But here's the thing I would say to that, okay? And I'm not disagreeing with you, but the Heat's, inability, which maybe just speaks to more of their badness than other teams' goodness, is like people want to say, well, and I know Eric was saying this in the broadcast, like, hey, the Thunder have the best defense in the league. And that's true. That's true. Counterpoint. This happened 4 days ago against the Nets,
but
who suck.
Again.
Then it happened 2 days before that.
They've been
against the Bulls, who, Leroy, they just got outscored 71-29 in a half.
Mm-hmm.
That's who the Heat's losing to. So, yeah, maybe it speaks to they just suck. I don't know. But the thing that's infuriating about it is, man, like, just get blown out early. Stop stringing me along. Don't go out there and dominate just to only kick me in the junk. I'd rather, Leroy, I swear to God, I'd rather them just be down 15 the entire game. Don't get my hopes up. Don't make it the most painful. And Tyler Hero, my God, dude, take care of the damn basketball in the fourth quarter. Holy crap.
I've infuriated a lot of my friends this morning.
How so?
I'm calling for the head of Eric Spoelstra.
What do you mean you're calling for the head?
And you know what? The washed father, done with you, because this is really his fault.
So you're just mad at the Heat organization as a whole. What do you want?
There's 2 men that are responsible for this entire downfall.
Okay.
Tobin?
And they're both. Well,
I don't appreciate that.
That's a good call.
That's not true.
That's a good call.
As you eat your scone. What is that? Is that an apple pie? Are you having another apple pie?
This guy's an apple pie addict. 3 men responsible to Upton being number 1. Pat Riley for not making any. He's been asleep for 5 years, dude. He didn't get Jimmy Butler any help. He swings and misses more than any Marlins player I can't name right now. And Eric Spoelstra's stubbornness and refusal to start what he knows will be a winning combination has really held this team back. So I propose, washed father, go get your statue in LA, enjoy Honolulu somewhere, and watch us on TV. Eric Spoelstra, I'm gonna be kind enough because of what you've done for me. I'm gonna promote you.
Wow.
You're gonna
kick him upstairs?
I'm gonna kick you upstairs.
Wow.
Dude. But you know what you need to do if you want to win? Leroy, do you know what you need to do if you want to win?
What's that?
Promote Quinn if you want to win.
Wow.
That is the only way.
Quinn for the win?
Quinn for the win.
Let me get this.
You think Chris Quinn is holding
wait.
Spoelstra?
Your solution to this
is
to take a Hall of Fame front office guy.
Yeah.
A Hall of Fame coach.
Correct.
And replace him with Chris Quinn.
No. We're not replacing anyone. We're promoting Eric Spoelstra.
I know why she's late today.
Because it's a day that ends in Y.
She has to do some crunches because she got the crop top.
At least somebody does some crunches because the heat and crunch time.
No, they do crunches. Like, but we've been watching this same team for 3 years, and we all like.
No, here's the thing though.
What?
This team, I've been talking to people about that. And yes, in record they're the same, but Leroy, the flameouts in this season,
a lot of flameouts.
The flameouts in this season, they hit different.
Where you get all warm and fuzzy. 10-point lead.
They have lost more spectacularly than any Heat team I can remember, because it is, and again, I'm not down what you're saying with the talent thing, but it's almost like there has to be something up here with them, because it's like
it almost looks like they play basketball and they don't realize they haven't scored in 7 minutes.
It's great.
They like it. They like
20.
Did they huddle around each other and say, "Listen, guys, we're shooting like crap. Somebody need to get physical and go to the rim." Like at what point do you realize, guys, huddle up after a free throw? We've only scored 6 points in the fourth quarter. What are we gonna do about that? Like, you have to notice that. Then the game ends and they go, "Ooh, we only scored 6. We only scored 8.
What do we do about that?" And I don't know, like, maybe if I'm Eric Spoelstra and I watch the team go on a 16-0 run against me, maybe I put the best player on my team in there and like, "Hey, Bam, you've kind of been dominating. Do I put him in there?" He goes, "I'll wait till it gets to 16-0. Not that helped, because they got to a 24-0 run.
Chris Quinn would never.
Really?
Streets are saying Coach Dan Bisacchio is the real genius.
Well, whatever. I just need new blood.
New blood.
I need new blood.
New ideas.
Really?
You know what? The last regime we had it before. It was Morning and it was Riley.
Is this a stubbornness
by Spo?
Like, I don't know what Spo could do differently. Although, my only complaint is that he thinks part of this is how he plays his lineups.
Uh-huh.
Like, he's always fidgeting. You know what I mean? And so I don't know what part of it is he puts the wrong group out there and they get blowed out, or he stays the course with his changes. I mean, you're right. At some point in time, you got to look at Captain and say, "Ship is sinking, go save us." Like, that's all you got.
Yeah, I don't care that you have a back-to-back. Like,
right.
I don't care.
And
this had the opportunity to be something for this team, right? Like, this has been a crap year, but if you could go into that building and beat that team, maybe it means something for you guys to take into the next, like, not tonight. Okay, cool. You're going to beat a Kyrie and crew Mavericks team. Cool. I'll take any win that I could get at this point, because I want to jump out of a window. Yeah. But like that would have meant something yesterday. You'd be like, all right, first time you get a win post Jimmy. And instead it's like, nope. Just you remember that thing we did a couple days ago, which I stupidly said there's no way they could do that again. Leroy goes, don't put it past them. He was right and I was wrong because 8 points.
8. I've seen this. Like, so there's been a couple of times they got to 10 or 11, but it still felt like single digits. We've seen this a lot. There's one quarter.
So embarrassing.
They can only play 3 quarters of basketball. But my point is this. Is it when you're in the heat of the moment, you don't realize how bad you're playing?
Oh.
Because, like, you ask them, hey, remember the time they only scored 9 points and Tyler and Bam were like, ooh, wow, right? Didn't realize that.
Tyler's sitting here and he's like throwing the ball up like a hot potato. Like, you act like you've never seen a double team in your life. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You've never seen pressure before.
But here's the problem. That's why he should have did this. He should have taken and put Mitchell and put Tyler in at the same time and let Tyler play off the ball. You can't double team as much off the ball because then you have a point guard who could also break you down.
I guess, but like whenever he had the ball, he's chucking it off to, he forgot what color jersey he was wearing. And then I don't know what happened to Jovic, dude. I mean, Jovic, oh, my sweet Jovic. He ended up crane kicking a dude in the head.
That was great.
Hurt his own ass. I was like, how did that happen? I thought for sure he was going to get taken out in handcuffs, Jovic. Thankfully, they called it a common foul. The guy's like, it's unfortunate what happened, but it's a common foul. I was like, woo!
So, Tobin, you've watched every one of these games. Leroy, so have you.
Yep.
We have different lineups of almost every one of these games where they do this single digit or barely get to double digit. Who's to blame?
I mean, in the end, the players put the ball in the hoop. But
it's different players every time.
But still basketball. But every time I talk about it from a player's perspective and say, like, yeah, you got to have somebody or an offensive set or these guys kind of get together. What are they saying in those free throw huddles, right? Because, like, I think somebody should have probably hinted to, damn, we only got like 5 points. They kicking our ass, right? But no. So I think usually you can have a guy on the team, even when the team's playing bad. Tyler may score 25. He may have 15 free throws because they were really guarding the 3-point line. So somebody do something like that to be aggressive, to kind of slow the game down, and it just seems like nobody's aware enough to realize how bad it was scoring the basketball. Say, let me get a couple of free throws. Let me do this. Let's see if we can get it going this way. But no, they just keep playing the same style of basketball. So while you can put anything you want on Spo, I would say at the end of the day, like when you're playing in the game and you're on the court and you're the stars or you're whoever you are, somebody has to be aware to say, whew, we ain't making no shots. One of us got to be aggressive. Or we got to have a play to where we get to the rim. Because if you think about it in the first half, when they were blowing them
killed them in the paint.
Killed them. Then all of a sudden they start shooting jump shots against a zone, which is even more amazing.
Headlines brought to you by Doral Kia. Doral Kia, choose from over 500 new Kia miles in inventory at the Sports, the Sorrento, and the Telluride. Remember, when it comes to Kia, the great deals are at Doral Kia. Other headline last night, Canada beat Sweden 4-3 in overtime to start the Four Nations face-off. Team USA takes on Finland tonight at 8 o'clock on ESPN.
What do we got to do?
What do you mean?
We're in a bad spot.
Double game?
Huh?
What do you mean?
We're little Finland down here.
Oh,
but they're playing the U.S.
Who you gonna root for?
You got to root for the U.S., right?
I might bet Finland.
Okay.
They got the fatter odds.
Yeah, they got. Yeah.
It's hockey, baby. Hockey, weird stuff happens.
All right.
Does that make me un-American? Perhaps.
Totally.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, well,
but it makes me pro-Barkey.
Here's the problem. You could be pro whatever, but you know what I'm a bigger pro of? That Munyon.
Yeah. Although our Khalil Ware bet is.
Yeah.
Also, Spo's fault.
He hit that wall. He should have hit that wall in December.
Maybe you should have cashed out in December.
Maybe. Miami Marlins, they signed a pitcher, Cal Quantrill, to a 1-year, $3.5 million deal.
Where's he from?
Where's he from? Yeah. He's, I believe, Canadian.
Oh, really?
Okay. But I believe he last played for Colorado. Led the league in walks last year.
What the hell?
He walked more. So
no, he didn't walk more than he struck out, but he did lead the league in walks, the National League.
That sounds like
innings eater.
Just a bit outside.
And the Marlins have announced today, to no one's surprise, that Sandy Alcantara will start opening day.
I thought you were going to say another thing. Sandy is on the trade.
Well, he will be. Once he gets out.
Wait a minute. Do they need to announce that?
Yeah, we know. We'll take a break. We'll get more into the Heat. We'll hear a little bit of the guys in the locker room afterwards. 15 minutes of Heat is next.
So we got to do 15 more minutes of talk of being misery?
I love how you sometimes I just want to pinch your cheeks.
Why?
Because it's like,
I talk you off a ledge every day with this team, and now you're getting on me?
You don't talk me off a ledge. In fact, you push me towards the ledge.
What are you talking
about? You make
me
want to put on my snorkel gear to jump off the cliff like Wild Heat Coyote.
Wow. You're going to do that anyway. Whether I push, you're going to do some Wild Heat Coyote stuff anyway.
15 minutes of Heat is brought to you by Hollywood Kia. At Hollywood Kia, the #1 Kia dealer in all of Florida. Get the star treatment we want to see in a Hollywood Kia. Visit them online, hollywoodkia.com. Heat, they lose last night to the Thunder, 115-101 in a game where they were up 21 at one point. Thunder started the fourth quarter on a 24-0 run.
Can I ask? I'm going to ask this question. Is the Heat the only team where the big lead works the other way?
Probably.
Where when they get a big lead, you say, they're still in it.
I was looking at the game the entire time in the second half. I'm like, there's so much time left. There's so much time left. And then they would kind of push back. I was like, all right, good, very good. You knew the Thunder were going to come out swinging. Jalen Williams had a really good third quarter. He was making some sick, tough shots. But it was a push quarter. They outscored you 31-30. I was like, pretty good. I was proud of that. Knew the home team was going to make a run.
You deterred the original pressure coming out of the half.
Right.
But
they're like, hold my beer. They're like, you think that the game is safe? Watch this, dude. And it's just Jovic and Tyler Hero torpedoing the game. Yes, they have an MVP candidate. I am not here to take away credit from the Oklahoma City Thunder. They are obviously fantastic. But I just saw this against the Brooklyn Nets too. So I don't know what to tell you. How much credit can I give you? I just saw this against the Chicago Bulls.
I mean,
how much credit can I give you?
The definition of a 500 team is you can beat anybody and you can lose to anybody.
First time they've been on under 500, I think, since 5 and 7.
But I think we've been 515 times this season, like a literal 15 times. And dating back, other than some Jimmy heroics, how long have we been 500?
This season?
No, just in general. Like, we haven't really excelled too much in a couple seasons.
The last time that they were,
the last team that 3 years ago,
the last time they were a 1 seed, it was 3 years ago.
Didn't we? No, never mind. I'm thinking of the year that we got the first round exit from Milwaukee.
No, they were like a 4 seed that year. But yeah, that one's a tough year for me because that's the COVID year. Like that was, you look at all those teams that went far in the bubble, like they all sucked. Yeah, that was crazy. The next year they got that's the true asterisk season. The next year they were the 1 seed. The next year they were the play-in team, but it was, that was the difference between like being.
Whoa. Let's back this up. You know what? I was putting all my thought processes in order. And
how could you back up on anything?
You say,
let's back it up real quick.
You say, I didn't make a big deal about the bubble because all those teams were bad the following year, and it was the bubble. Yet the Heat went to the finals, and you paraded around with that as a reason.
I'm saying the next year. every team that went deep in the bubble the next year had an early crash out.
Right.
In the playoffs.
But does that say that bubble was like false?
They had like 2 weeks off.
What?
Remember, the season ended in October.
Right.
You know, like, yeah, I kind of, I mean, yes, I can give them a little bit of a weird circumstance for that season.
Okay. All right. Continue.
Anyway. But this year is different for me just because, no, the flameouts have been so bad, Margos. Like, they had 26 point lead on Orlando. They were up 9 against Detroit in overtime, or up 8, Detroit in overtime, and gave up the lead. Bang, 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 like that. Spo forgot how many timeouts that he had left, which was 0. Sabonis buzzer beater, then lose to the Kings up 17. Like, this team, it's not like the other seasons. And obviously they've had the Jimmy thing to deal with for sure. I'll get whatever.
Nah, it don't matter. That Jimmy thing doesn't matter.
I'm just telling you, they have been so fabulous at losing in the most gut-wrenching fashion. This season stands alone from these other seasons. There was a year where it was like, oh, the clutch games, flip a coin, boom, boom, boom. Last year, all right, they couldn't really beat any good teams. It doesn't matter how bad the team is that they take on or how good the team is that they take on. They are going to find a way to break your heart. It's crazy. It's crazy this season. It's not the same. Some of the names are the same, but this year, it's been unreal how they kick you in the nuts. And every single time, they're like, here, little fella, here you go. And you think, oh, they're not going to kick me in the nuts now. We're friends. Floppa! Well, I didn't want to kick.
Okay. I knew how bad it was. The game ended. No text.
Oh, right.
I did text.
No, he did.
I did text.
I can't say what he said though on there.
I just got a text.
It was 8 bleeping points.
Yeah. See?
Oh man.
Oh.
But then you also commented.
Yeah.
Yeah, Margos is really down on Eric Spoelstra.
I'm done with him, dude. You know what? What's crazy though is I'm not dumb enough to say he should be off of my team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done with him on the sidelines.
You want to kick him upstairs.
Time to move on. Like I said, it was Riley and Mourning. It was Spo and Wade. Now it needs to be Quinn and Bam or something. I don't know. Quinn and where? Quinn and where? Like win and where? Hold on, guys.
-1.
Heard.
You were cooking for a second, and then you threw in too many ingredients.
Game ops always distracts me.
Yeah,
-1.
Let's hear from Eric Spoelstra, who you love.
No.
This is Eric Spoelstra saying,
we have to do it in the first hour.
Got to. 15 minutes to eat.
All right.
We made progress in the last 24 hours, but it got ugly.
Not necessarily tonight. I mean, this was a team that, they went super small, played their guards, and applied, a lot of pressure on us. Obviously, that sped us up. They forced turnovers there in that fourth. We weren't able to execute, with enough force. This was different than other games. Right now, I'm going with what I saw, in the first 3 quarters. We made some progress in the last 24 hours, from our session last night and the shoot-around. Awesome. And then we weren't able to sustain. At that point, it was going to be have to be totally ugly, and we just needed, some more poise against that pressure, whether we were in the post. We basically tried everything out of the menu in the fourth. Post-ups, catch and shoots, pick and rolls. The pick and rolls, they're flattening all of those out. And we just didn't do things with enough force or poise. That'll be something that we can learn from. And then, on the other end, it's not easy to do, but can we function at a high level defensively, which we were playing at a high level defensively for 3 quarters. Then it got really ugly offensively for us.
He says it
and then we stopped doing the things defensively. I still don't know if that would have guaranteed it, but we fell apart defensively as well. That we had a chance maybe to keep that thing closer to a 6-8 point game. It feels different than when it goes, to 12 or 14. But
Bully for you.
I see a lot of positives that we can build on. It's not about moral victories, but right now we're trying to build this thing fast.
I'm just giving us 7.
We'll
sounds like
just,
you're taking a
take our lessons
moral
from
blue
this
ribbon.
and get ready for tomorrow in Dallas.
All right.
One thing, I would have lost my mind if he would have said for 3 quarters again.
I forget.
Anybody's
How long is the game?
4 quarters.
4 quarters. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Marcos?
4 quarters, sir.
J-Fig?
4 quarters.
Okay.
So Kansas City could say, we were close for some of that game.
Yeah, you sound like the idiots who are like, hey, Tua played good on Thanksgiving. I know we were down 24-0 at halftime, but it was pretty good. Look at those numbers. It's like, great, Spo. Cool, dude. Hey, you know what? You guys are kings of the 3 quarters. All right? We might as well start calling the team 75 cents. That's what you are. You ain't that full dollar. Wow. You're pocket change. Whoa. Pocket change heat. Wow. Where's my coin purse? For the 3-quarter heat.
Pocket change.
You could go buy gumballs with the heat. Look at this. 1, 2, 3 gumballs.
In this
For
economy?
3 quarters. Gumballs still got to be 25 cents, JF. That's how they make the machines.
I don't think so,
I
dude.
don't
What do you
think
mean?
so.
2
I
quarters?
No,
think
you
it's
can
gone
put
up.
2 and 3 quarters in those things now.
You can buy 1 gumball with the Miami Heat.
That's
Half.
Hey,
half of a
by the
gumball.
way,
half a gumball.
I stumbled across a pretty exciting new snack.
What's that?
A blow pop inside out.
Gum on the
The
outside.
gum on the outside, 2 lollipop?
Yeah.
Oh.
Interesting.
Wow.
Did you bring
like
any
it?
for the class?
Oh no, they're in the car.
So yes.
Mm.
So you're saying there's a chance?
That's the heat.
I don't know, man. Like I get so frustrated. Or I don't want. Listen, I'm a big fan of the organization, the fans. A lot. I mean, the coaches and a lot of the players. Like I am a big fan, right? But I watch every game, knowing where this is going. I don't want to watch basketball like that.
I don't want to hurt it.
When I see you playing some of the best basketball you played all year, right? That first half, that's some of the best basketball I've seen them play, right? And an hour later, you're down by 15? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I just, like, my whole thing is that as a fan, you always go to all the reasons other than they just might not be good enough. Right?
Yeah, but just not be good enough the whole time. Just don't like pull a Houdini on me.
Like,
They're like,
you can't go from, they scored what, 36 points the first quarter?
let me see. What did they score first quarter yesterday?
Enough to win.
Yeah, 35, 36.
36 points. You're telling me it would have taken you 5 fourth quarters to beat that score? Think about that.
That's crazy.
You scored more points. You could have played a whole nother game the way you played the fourth quarter and not scored as many points as you did in 12 minutes. That can't be normal. That can't be normal.
And what did they go? They went from like points in the paint. They had 38. I think in the 38 to 24, you outscored them in the first half. And I think in the second half, it was like 26-8 or something like that.
Here's my favorite thing about sports is it's not the game plan and it's not all those. My favorite thing about sports is even if you know what's going to happen, even if you know what a guy's going to do, you still have the ability to stop them.
Yeah.
Right? And the Heat didn't put any pressure on them to play defense. They let them off the hook on several occasions with either bad shots, chucking it up at the end of a shot clock. And it just, It caught up to him. So I would like to just
26-8 in the second half. Outscored in the paint.
Yeah. So what happened? They start taking jump shots because here's what doesn't fly.
Mm-hmm.
Spo talked about how they were doubling Tyler and getting the ball out of his hands. Well, if they're doing that, shouldn't Bam be cooking inside or Ware be cooking inside? Because that's where you scored all your points anyway.
Well, they went, this funny thing, because they were like 3 for, I think, 12 in the first half from 3. And then 8 of their 12 shots, 8 of their 12 makes in the second half were threes. So it's like that, look, Dagenal's obviously a really great coach, and that's a great defensive team. I'm not saying they didn't do anything to the Heat to make that happen. But again, we've seen this against too many crappy teams too. Mm-hmm. And the Miami Heat just don't know how. When there's pushback on them, they collapse. Like, they can't just be stumbled. There can't be a knock. Like, they get knocked out. It's crazy. By the way, I was this close yesterday. This close to just drinking my sorrows away under my table, because if that Jimmy Butler call got overturned, because I thought that he was fouled. I thought he should have got an and one. I'm not being like, I'm not gonna.
Thought Kyrie was moving.
Kyrie was amazing last night.
Yeah,
that game was really good. But Kyrie has nobody on that team now, except Klay Thompson.
Nobody on the
team. But dude, you want to talk about like. Dude had dudes.
Is it amazing what he can do with a basketball?
Oh, but he was like draining threes with dudes draped all over him. He was like, but he steps in front of Jimmy for what they called was a charge. But I thought for sure when they went to the review, I'm like, oh, they're gonna overturn that. Nope, they did not. They upheld it. They probably felt bad for the Mavericks. They're like, they need something, dude. But if Jimmy Butler would have gotten a game-winning and one after that collapse, I probably would be still in a puddle of my own vomit because of how much I would have had to drink last night. I'm serious. Like, I'm sorry. I just would have.
What was the picture that you sent? Did him and Steve Kerr do a post game together, or was that another intangible that I'm confusing?
I think you're confusing me with one of the intangibles.
No, not you specifically. I felt like I saw a picture of him doing a post game. I don't know. It seems like he's meshing over there pretty good.
Jamal Murray, 55.
Double nickel.
We don't have those. See, we need one of those.
It's like an alien. When I see that stuff, I'm like, what's that like?
But that's what I'm saying.
What's that like?
Like, it you know what? I appreciate the mantra of this team. And that is make winning plays. But I would say this. I'm tired of seeing things that don't show up on the score sheet.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because the score doesn't either.
Luis says they pick Hero up full court and he loses his mind. Yeah, like this is the thing with Hero. Like every time it's like, hey, you know what? We're gonna put a lot of pressure on Hero. It's like, hey, this is what you wanted, dude. Mm-hmm. This is what every guard deals with. Every star guard has to deal with this. Don't sit here and be like, oh, I'm I want to be amongst all the best in the league. And it's like once that happens, turnover McGee can't hit a shot. Because
he should be a 2.
Yeah, probably. But he, all the.
So why wouldn't he put him in there with Mitchell? And
he got some time with Mitchell.
Dude, and he was left the ball more.
Dude, he punted the ball into the stands yesterday. He's like, the only thing that
why every time a professional athlete drops, turns the ball over, you go to Looney Tunes.
I didn't have Terry Rozier to lash out yesterday.
You can't blame him.
I can't blame him.
That's what hurt the most.
That's what hurt the most.
That really hurt the most. I'm like, Terry's not here. We still did this.
Dade South says the roster's mediocre and it reflects the record. No need to overthink things.
Right, exactly.
Ridiculous.
No. Because Tobin thinks they should be the 1 seed.
That's not what I think. It's not what I think.
Where do you think they should be?
They probably should be. I think they should be a little above where they are. They should be a comfortable 6. A comfortable 6. Instead.
So you say 3 or 4 games over 500?
I'm saying, yeah, I think like 3-4.
Yeah, but
they're not. What can I do? That's what I think, but they're not.
Right around mediocre.
They're worse than mediocre.
Now.
They're closer to the Hawks than they are the damn Pistons. Falling off a cliff. Rats off a ship. That's how they treated it.
I don't know. I just don't know what you're expecting because like
I'm expecting at one point my happiness to return. How about that?
To me, go to Golden State.
I'm expecting the 4th seed. Oh, I was at least.
So here's the deal. No, that's being a fan.
Why? Who name 5? Okay, we know Boston. The Knicks are pretty good this year. Cleveland, of course.
I mean, they're only
Milwaukee.
They're only 4 games
Milwaukee.
games out of the 4 seed.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but wait a minute.
Those are the only 4
you can't start the show the way you started it and then assume that they just gonna go on this 5-game run.
No, I don't think so anymore.
Right.
Pretty weak schedule to end the season.
See, here we go.
And so if you get momentum, I'm hoping the rest does everybody well. Tyler can recharge his batteries. I don't know what's going on with Jaime. Did you hear what Spoelstra said about Jaime?
Do you
yesterday?
guys understand why we fight so much?
No, I'm just saying, just get a couple of things pieced together. I think Ware needs a break. I think this has been a lot on him.
For sure.
Clearly, Jovic needs a reset. They've mentally. I think you just get tonight. We get tonight, we can start building on things.
Again,
Well.
you're making.
Good luck.
Okay. I would like to know what is going to change between last night and tonight
Got to decompress.
that would lead you to believe there's no more single-digit quarters. Here's the deal, and I've said this for a while now. The reason why Jimmy is so much better with the Warriors right now is because he's not the number one.
He's not so much better though. He's playing like Jimmy.
No, but it's still he can do it all the time. He would pick and choose when he did it here. And this team could not always afford that. They needed a guy who was going to go out and get his. Every team has one of those guys. You turn on the TV, so-and-so won 38. Right? This team doesn't have that. Who's the guy where you say, hey, go get me a 30-piece?
It's going to be Jovic eventually.
Eventually, but until that happens, this is the only team in the NBA where you can't say, you better be careful, he could go off for 40. Every other team has a guy like that.
I know.
So, in the last 3 years.
Maybe like Houston. They're kind of like a sum of their parts.
Okay, right.
That's the good team. I'm trying to think of a good team like that, but that's probably it.
That's it. It's an anomaly. And he'd have been doing it now since the big 3 have left.
Haven't had a 25-point score since LeBron.
So think about that. So while we sitting here complaining or getting upset or getting frustrated that this team is not where we thought they should be, where's that guy? I said it last year. I said, every team has 2 guys now that could get you 25 and go for 30 if the other guy's not there.
Everybody has 2 guys now? You just made it one guy. 2 guys?
They have that one stud, but if you look at, the sidekick can go off too.
We'll take a break here on the show. Back with more for this.